to our 48th episode of One Cardinal, One Cub, and One Beer. And if I could sing, I would sing the Welcome Back Cotter song from John Sebastian of the 1970s. Welcome back, Max. Gone this summer doing work, and now you're back at school, which means you don't have to work at all. I mean, no homework.
It's great. I love being unemployed.
Last semester in college, and if anybody is looking to hire a very competent, qualified IT person,
well, I wouldn't say competent, but getting there.
All right. Say competent. Yeah. So anyway, do want to ask you to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, contact us through onecard1cup1beer@gmail.com. You can subscribe to our page by clicking on the icon at the bottom right or at the end of the YouTube. If you are watching on YouTube, you can just take your controller, head up to the circle, click it, and you will be a member of the cult. You can support us through Patreon with monthly donations of $3, $5, and $10. You just go to Patreon, search One Cardinal, One Cub, and One Beer to support our efforts. JJ, well, before I ask you how you're doing, Max, how are you doing?
Yeah, Max.
Doing good. Solid. The school's going well. It's good to be back here. Cubs are winning games, so can't complain about that.
I like the shirt. That's a nice Cub shirt you got there.
Thank you.
Very nice.
All right, JJ, how are you doing?
Well, in Cardinal world, it's been pretty rough. You know, you got to smell the flowers, and it's not been too pretty here lately in Cardinalville. But it's this
That's
time
not
of the year.
Flowers you're smelling.
I know it's got a bad scent right there. But I tell you what, we're in the last month of the season, and the first thing I like to do is like look back because. It's the end of careers for a lot of guys. I don't know if you heard, but Terry Francona, this is it for him. He's had some health issues for the Guardians, and he's been a great manager. He just didn't think he could give it the same effort that he has in the past. So, we're going to be saying goodbye to him. Steven Strasburg's had a lot of injuries, and that kid, I love to watch him. He had a nice career, but he's hanging it up. I remember him at San Diego State, and Tony Gwynn was his coach down there in San Diego State when he came up to the big leagues, and the Nationals made him one of the first picks they ever had. Miguel Cabrera, it's kind of the end for him. So this last month, if you get a chance to see any of these guys, tune in. And of course, in Cardinal land, we have Adam Wainwright, who I'm going to miss. When I think of Adam Wainwright, I always think of that bases loaded, 2 outs, curveball to Carlos Beltran in the playoffs to get past the Mets. That was almost as big as the World Series that year when we beat the Mets because they were heavily favored. And Carlos Beltran just lit us up, and that strikeout and Yachty and him celebrating on the mound, that was incredible. But there's other players. They haven't announced anything yet, but this last month of the pennant drives and everything, pay a close attention to some of these older guys because they might not be back next year. Well, in the Cardinal news, we went 1-5 this week, and our last 10 were 2-8. And the first game of the week was 6-2 loss to Pittsburgh, and that's the game Contreras got thrown out. I'm glad that's baseball. You get bad calls, you get good calls, but that game, nothing's been going right. It's either our defense is about the only thing that's been fantastic this year. Our pitching, if it's not our pitching, it's our hitting, it's calls, it's bad PR, whatever. It's just been a disaster of a season.
Now, didn't Contreras take his bat and draw a strike zone?
Yes, he did.
I've never seen that before. That was innovative. If you're going to get thrown out, do something creative.
Oh, yeah. And now when they keep stretching out the strike zone, now you got to chase stuff. So he had it. We lost 6-2, and that was the first game Walker got thrown out. I don't know what he said, but he put his bat on his head, and it looked like something like, "You got to be kidding me!" And then he was ringing him up quick. Ollie went, Juris went, Walker went. The whole team, we were out of there. That was a rough one. And then we did win Sunday, and that kid Palacios, the center fielder, got 3 hits, and we got him for cash consideration from Cleveland. and he's played a terrific center field for us. And so far, he's gotten hot. Now, I don't think Cleveland would have got rid of him if he was this great of a player, but he's come here sometimes to change the scenery, and things happen. We had a day off.
His brother hit a grand slam on Friday against the Cubs.
Oh, really? Because he hit a home run against us, too. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. So, anyway, those two guys, it's a great story seeing them come up, and they finally made the big leagues, and they got to play each other, and that was pretty cool. We had a day off, and then, the Phillies came in and just kicked our butts. And if it wasn't bad enough, we got swept in the series. But in the last 3 games, we faced Wheeler, Nola, and Snell. We've had to face 3 of the better pitchers in the National League, or in all of baseball, I think. And man, they just carved us up. One good thing about this, though, we went 1-5, but Wainwright's thrown 2 really quality starts: a 6-inning 3-run game and a 6-inning 1-run game. But the offense we're just not hitting the ball. I don't know. These guys have. I know, Nolan Arenado's had a bad back, and it takes everything to get him out of the lineup. He just wants to play, and he's been terrific for us this year. But I think he's got 6 errors so far, and he's been, I think, the captain of the team. Good things coming though. Our first round draft choice we got this draft, named Chase Davis, from the University of Arizona. He's an outfielder. He just lit it up in college this year, 362, 21 home runs. I won't go on and on because the college is different than the minors, and the minors are different than the pros. But he looks like he could be a really good one coming, and we need all the help we can get. So that's one good thing. And then the scouting reports I read on him were fantastic. Like, he's a very outstanding young man, very coachable, works hard, and a good kid. So that's good. One of the things down on the farm, I know it's not down on the farm segment, but the Springfield Cardinals were down by 9 runs in the 9th and came back and won.
That was trending.
I couldn't believe it. You're down and you win the game. You're down 14-6 and come back and win 15-14 in the 9th inning. Oh man, that I went to Springfield. That would have been fun to watch that. I think it was Corpus Christi they were playing. Luca Baker this week hit his first home run. It's always good to see the kids do that. And it's been reported that Alonso did not throw the ball into the stands after he hit the home run. So that's good. And we have a kid we got in a trade for Texas named Drew Rom, who did great in the minors. He's pitched 2 games in the big leagues. The first one, he just got lit up. But I don't know about you, Max or Vince, but when you're a kid and you get your first start in the big leagues, your heart's got to be beating out of your chest. And his accuracy was off, and they just hit him. But the second game, he did much better. And he had 8 strikeouts in 5 innings. So maybe good things are coming there. We got something good out of that. And this kid's I don't think he's quite ready to be in the rotation yet, but right now with everybody hurt, he's doing a fine job. Matt Carpenter returned with the Padres and got a nice ovation. And I love that. The Cardinals give him a standing ovation. What few that were in the stands, by the way, give him a standing ovation. So it was good to see Matt Carpenter back in town. And the Cardinals, this is not a surprise to anybody, but this is just sort of, some of the symptoms of what's been going on this year. We have the worst batting average in the league with bases loaded. And last night, against Snell, we had bases loaded, 1 out. Kisner struck out, and he was up 3-0 at one time. And then Walker struck out and looked terrible in that bat. Snell just carved him up. So that's kind of been what's been going on all year for the Cardinals. And I'm going to throw one more little fact in there on Cardinal news. This date, today, in 1977, Lou Brock, a 39-year-old at the time, swipes his 893rd base in San Diego to break Ty Cobb's record. I remember that, listening to that on KMOX, and that was just a big deal. Oh my God, Ty Cobb. But I did not know about Cobb set that record. He finished his career with the Philadelphia A's. I thought he was a lifelong Detroit Tiger, so I did not know that. So anyway, that's it for Cardinal news. It's been bleak. So, but I'm having fun watching the Brewers and the Cubs and the Reds kind of hanging in there in our division.
I'm going to start with something a little different. I got some books in the mail. 1971 Baseball Guide,
Oh, I
Yes, that
love
is
it. I see
Gibby on
Bench
there.
and Gibson. Yeah.
Yep. Um, Jim Bouton's second book. I'm glad you didn't take it personally. And then I got a baseball rules book from 1956, baseball rules book from 1955, baseball case book 1955, baseball case book 1956, and baseball guide from 1950. And look who is, this is the Sporting News Radio edition. Look who is on the cover, a very young Harry Carey.
Yes. How about that, man?
Friends of mine, the Brennans out of Springfield, Illinois. Kathy is a comedian, and I've had the privilege of working with her a few times. Very talented comedian, and her husband Jim. He goes to a lot of her shows, so I've met Jim there. He's a huge Cardinal fan, and he does listen to the program. But they sent these to me. They had a family member who I guess had these and were getting rid of them for some reason. But very cool. So I get to add to my obscure baseball book collection.
Very nice.
Yeah, very happy about that. Before the Cubs set out for this 12-game stretch where they played some very difficult teams, played some very easy teams, the White Sox, the Royals, the Tigers, and the Pirates. I said over these 12 games, they really do need to go 8-4. They went 8-4. And we started that stretch. We were 3 games behind the Brewers. And I said, if we can go 8-4, we're going to pick up some ground. The problem is the Brewers went 8-3 during that stretch. So we lost a half a game. After getting swept by the Dodgers, they went on to win 8 in a row, plus last night's game, which we'll get into. So, so far this week, the Cubs are actually 4-3 this week. We lost Tuesday night 8-6 to the Tigers as Drew Smiley got crushed again. Then on Wednesday we won 6-4. Bellinger drove in 2 runs. Alzolay got a save. And Thursday we went to Pittsburgh and we started the series with a 5-4 win. Steele went 6 innings, only gave up 2 earned runs. He did not factor in the decision, but he pitched really well. Then Friday we lost to Pittsburgh 2-1. Hendricks pitched really good, but came out on the losing end 2-1. Mitch Keller, former Royal, pitched 8 shutout innings for Pittsburgh. We did get, I think, half hit a home run off Bednar in the 9th, but we couldn't sustain it. There was a controversial call in this game in the 9th inning. When was it 2015 or 2016? They instituted instant replay, somewhere around there. So we've got almost a decade of it. I've never seen a play that I was sure was not going to be overturned, that was not overturned, or that I thought was going to be overturned, that was overturned. You can see, I think in 10 years, I'm 100%, oh, that's not going to be overturned, or that's going to be overturned. Bellinger beats out an infield hit. And from every replay I saw, it was the definition of a tie. Possibly Bellinger got there a little early because the ball was rattling around the first baseman's glove. And when they came back, I mean, it was just a foregone conclusion in the telecast that, yeah, we'll Bellinger's going to be on first. They called him out. They said that it's overturned. And I was like, you got to be kidding me, because to overturn, you have to have irrefutable evidence.
That's right.
I didn't see irrefutable evidence, but anyway, Saturday was Magic Day. We won 10-6 in Pittsburgh, which is not a great thing. Suzuki did drive in 3. Alzolay got the save, but very excited because Jordan Wicks is called up for his first major league starts. First inning, he gives up a home run to the leadoff hitter on the second pitch, Brian Hayes. Gone. Okay. Next batter gets a hit. Then he gives up a walk. So he's faced 3 big league batters. He's given up a home run, a hit, and a walk. Tommy Hotovy comes out and talks to him. And then he sets down the next 15 in a row, 9 strikeouts in 5 innings.
Wow.
And he got the victory. And I've seen some great change-ups because I've watched Kyle Hendricks for 10 years, who has probably got the best right-hand change-up in the game today when he's on. We have unless this was an anomaly, Jordan Wicks has the best left-handed changeup I've seen since Johan Santana. Whereas Kyle throws his and it just kind of fades down and into the right-handed hitter. So the left-hander will swing at it, soft contact. Right-hander will doink it usually to the third baseman. Wicks is a left-hander, and his changeup comes in, and it almost looks like a dead fish when it gets there. It is the most deceptive changeup I've seen from a left-hander in a long time because you cannot pick out any difference between his fastball and his changeup. It's all the same windup. Very happy for the guy, and we really needed that. I'll get into that pretty soon. Then Sunday's game, we won 10-1 in a laugher. Javier Assad, 7 innings, 1 run. Bellinger had 5 RBIs. Candelario, 3 RBIs. Bellinger, if he was another player, would have had 1 RBI in that game. He got 4 RBIs because he does something that I love that is a lost art. With 2 strikes, runners in scoring position, he's not trying to hit a home run. Both times he just served the ball into right field and both runners in scoring position scored. It's not that difficult. That's how baseball was played when I was growing up until about 10 years ago. And well, I should say up until the steroid era. 2 strikes, shorten up your swing, get some bat on the ball, and good things will happen. Don't try to swing for the fences when you got 2 runners in scoring position and two strikes on you. That's why he's got 75 RBIs right now, and he missed a ton of time. He has an outside shot of 100 RBIs because he understands situational hitting. He understands with 2 strikes, 2 runners in scoring position, I don't have to put the ball over the fence. I can just serve it out to left field, and 2 runs are going to score. So I'm so excited about him. I sure hope we are able to re-sign him. He's a Boris guy, so that's going to be very difficult, but just very impressed with him.
I think he loves it there. I think he's like a rebirth in his career.
Oh, and, but he's a Boris guy.
Yeah, but he's a Boris guy.
Yeah. Last night we lost 6-2. Now I'm going to get a little bit on my soapbox about pitching. Jameson Tyone did not show up. Yelich hit a home run to lead off the game. Mark Canha, who was playing with the Mets, whiling away just right before the trade line, comes up and hit a laser shot for a 2-run home run. He gave up 4 runs in the first 2 innings. Now, 5 runs in the first 2 innings, excuse me. Now, he did have, it was a weird night because both Swanson and Horner had errors that they usually will not have. But still, he did not show up to pitch the first inning of that game. We are not paying you to be an ace, but by golly, we are not paying you to have an ERA of up to 6. You've got a $68 million 3-year contract, something like that, whatever it is. Go out there, pitch to a 3.5, 3.7 ERA. If you do that, we will be in the games and we can win a lot of those games. But every game he pitches in, I shouldn't say every, now I'm using hyperbole, but in a majority of the games that he pitches in, he will have 1 inning where he just blows up. And this is a veteran. He's been in the league for about 10 years. I don't get why he does this. We have Stroman, who is supposed to be our ace going into the year. He's probably out for the rest of the year, and we're probably not going to see him again. Smiley, who is supposed to be a middle of the rotation guy, is terrible. He's in the pen now. And Tyone is the only one of these 3 starters who is still in the rotation. And Friday against Pittsburgh, was it Friday, Thursday, one of those Thursday against Pittsburgh, I think it was. Mm-hmm. He had a no-hitter for what, 4 innings?
And then it was the Tigers game, I believe.
Yeah. No, it was the Pirates game because the no, you're right.
No, it was
the
Tigers. Kerry Carpenter hit
that Carpenter guy. He's pitching a no-hitter. He loads the bases up. We're up 4-0, and he gives up a grand slam. It's 4-4. It's just 1 inning. He just blows up. And I love Jim DeShays. I love him. He's one of my favorite color commentators ever. But if I have to hear him say, well, the stuff looks good. Well, the stuff looks good. I know the stuff looks good. But this is baseball. It's a results-oriented thing. You can have great stuff for 3 innings, but if you go out there the 4th inning, or if you go out there in the 1st inning and blow up and then have great stuff the rest of the game, it doesn't matter. Bring that stuff from the beginning and keep it till they yank your butt out of the game and give it to our wonderful bullpen. So these are our top 3 starters this season. Steele, who was looked to be about a number 4 starter for us. Assad, who was fighting for the 5th starter, he's pitching really well.
Yeah.
And possibly Jordan Wicks, if his debut is anything. I'm not saying he's going to pitch like that every game, but gosh, he sure looked good. He's got the stuff that plays in the major league. I can see a scenario where if we do go to the playoffs, those are going to be our top 3 starters, because I don't trust Smiley. I don't trust Tyone. And I know that Stroman is probably not going to be back. Max, your thoughts?
I was actually thinking about this the other day. For a 3-game playoff series, I think I would have to go Steele, Hendricks, and Assad.
I forgot about Hendricks. Yes, Hendricks too.
And he's pitching pretty effectively.
Pitching good.
Mm-hmm. It's just tough. I mean, JMO had been on a really nice stretch. His past 8 starts had looked better. Not, more like a 5 than anything else, but they'd been solid. Not nearly as bad as the first half of the season, but his last 2 starts, he's had these blow up innings where they just, they sink you in the game. It's tough to come back. And I saw a stat where the Cubs rotation is 26th out of 30 in ERA since the All-Star break. And we've been winning all these games because our offense has really picked it up, but the pitching has just been absolutely horrendous outside of, a handful of guys. And it's really tough when, your starter is getting blown out, because it really does affect your bullpen. I feel like every other night we have Advert closing games out. I don't know how his arm hasn't fallen off. And it's just really difficult, because you'll have games where you put up 5-6 runs. That should be enough to win. If you've got a decent starter going, it might be close. But in a game where we score 10 runs, we can't allow 6, because you don't want to have to bring in your closer in games like that. You don't want to have to use your high leverage guys. It's just an absolute mess right now.
What I think what frustrated me the most is this Monday's game was the biggest game of the season for us. We've got the Brewers coming to town. We're down 3.5 games. We are trying to take them for the division. And the Brewers they've got the pitching.
They have it.
And Wade Miley was on the mound, and no one is benefiting from a pitch clock more than Wade Miley, because nobody could step out on him. And that's the best defense against Wade Miley, because he works so fast, batters would step out. Without that, only stepping out once, he's just cranking the ball about every 1.5 seconds, and he's got an ERA of right around 3-ish. So he's benefited a lot. We're going against Burns tonight, and tomorrow we're going against Woodruff. So it's very tough to play these Brewers. Tyone, you should have shown up last night. And I think I would have more respect with him if he would have just screamed F or something to show that it really hurts him, that he's all season long.
It's the Michael Fulmer issue. Michael Fulmer, whenever he blows up and gives up a lead or something, whenever he's pitching in relief, he doesn't wear it. Some guys just wear it, and you can tell. What's a good example? This Max Scherzer, he wears it. He's screaming, he's cussing out at people. You can tell when he's mad. But when you just kind of look like, it's just kind of annoying.
It is frustrating. And there was a shot last night when the Cubs were down 4-1. But by the way, somehow Wisdom hit a home run yesterday, and Happ also hit a home run. But there was a shot in the dugout, and Wicks was talking to one of the other. Wicks and Steele were talking, and they were laughing. And I thought, I like that, because that shows it. I know they're not disengaged. They're watching the game. I know they care because of the way they're both very emotional pitchers, but it just showed they're still loose. They're not saying, "Oh yeah, well, this is going to sink our season." It showed me that they were pretty loose. And I am a critic of David Ross when it comes to how to manage a game. But as far as keeping a loose dugout and a great atmosphere, I give him all the props in the world. A few more things. Quas, the pitcher that we got from the Royals, who is pitching to sub-1 ERA since he's come to the Cubs. He's on the bereavement list, and K is up, and that will last until Quas gets off the bereavement list. And we would be amiss if we did not bring up Shohei Ohtani. Anybody want to address Ohtani's situation, the biggest news in baseball right now?
I will. I saw a lot of people acting like it's the end of the world. For those who don't know, Shohei Ohtani has a torn UCL. They don't know the exact extent of the damage. He hasn't decided if he's getting surgery yet. There are some guys who, they can either play through a damaged UCL or they can let it heal for a while. Some guys get surgery, they come back fast. He can still hit. I think he's homered since this news has come out, and he can hit. He just can't throw the ball right now, but that's fine. He's a designated hitter. He's still playing the rest of the season out. It does impact his contract, though, which is arguably more important. The Angels they're mailing it in. They've given up. We can talk about their waiver situation later, but the gist of that is...
Go ahead and bring that up now, because that's interesting.
So earlier today, they placed Lucas Giolito, Reynaldo Lopez, Matt Moore, Hunter Renfroe, and one other player I'm forgetting. They placed them on waivers. And Randall Grichuk. Yes, Cardinals legend. So these are a handful of decent players. Some of them aren't having great seasons, but Giolito is a fantastic starting pitcher. Both Lopez and Matt Moore have had really good seasons. They're both relievers. Hunter Renfroe has hit. He's got a sub 100, OPS plus right now. But there's a point last year where he hit like 30 home runs, or the year before. He's got power. A team could use him. Randall Grichuk is Randall Grichuk. People know what they're getting at that point. Either way, when you place players on waivers, it's basically an open invitation. It's saying, hey, we don't want to pay these players anymore. Any team on the waiver list, they can claim them, and all they have to do, they don't have to give up prospects, they don't have to do anything like that, they don't give up draft capital. They literally just pay their salaries. So the Angels are basically saying, all right, the season is done. We're phoning it in. We can get below one of the luxury tax tiers by doing this, so we're going to do that. So Ohtani knows that the Angels are done for the season. They're not trying to win anymore. That this kind of kills any hope of him returning, I would think. I don't think he's going to want to sign with this organization when they're going to be with the A's next year, most likely. So that's basically what has happened in the past, I guess, week.
Do you know of the teams in contention who has the first claims on the waivers?
I think that would be the Marlins, probably. It is interesting, though, because I could see any of the teams beforehand, before the Marlins. There's like the Marlins, Reds, and Giants are all before the Cubs, at least. But I could even see a team like the Cardinals picking up Giolito just as a guy to pitch and eat innings. They're fifth on the waiver wire claim list. The teams ahead of them are like the Rockies, the A's,
Royals.
The Royals. Yeah, teams like that where they don't want to add payroll at this point. But if I'm the Cardinals, I would be fine paying the $2 million or whatever that's owed to Giolito for the rest of the season. If he can come in, it's a veteran presence. He can throw you, 6 quality innings. And maybe, you could really have him teach young guys. I could see a team like that, or even a team like the Nationals, potentially.
How long is Giolito's contract?
It's up after this season. So
Okay.
You're only on the hook for the $2 million he's owed through arbitration for the rest of the season, which is $2 million is a lot for us, but for a front office, that's chump change.
I could see the Cardinals possibly taking a chance that they can re-sign him with the Cardinal way, Cardinal magic, whatever the pixie dust they spread.
Devil magic.
Yeah. But I could also see teams non-contention saying, we're not going to re-sign him. Let's look at our young players. So whatever. He would be, the Reds could really use
That's
starter.
a scary thing because
Yeah.
teams like the Marlins, the Reds, the Giants, the Reds, they could use 2 stud relievers and another starter. Like if they were to, if those players make it to them in the claim, list, then that's an upgrade. There are a handful of AL Central teams that are, I don't know who has the division leader right now. I think it's the Twins, but I think their record is worse than ours at least. So even they would get a crack at it first.
Yeah. Well, I do know this. I have no interest in Hunter Renfroe from the
Yeah.
I'd
forgotten about that, to be completely honest.
He doesn't get along in clubhouses.
Mm-hmm.
That's his reputation. So, Grishik, I've always liked Grishik. We don't need him, but I think he could help a team, veteran presence. I could see him be a bench bat and play some corner outfield.
The Cardinals have talked about Giolito in the past. I don't know what the other teams were asking for, but he was one of those and the Cardinals like veterans, and we could like you said, Max, we could use a veteran presence to work with the young guys. He eats innings. He is a good pitcher.
Wouldn't it be funny if the White Sox pick him up?
He's the other. They're the other team before the Cardinals, so they could feasibly do it if they really wanted to.
Get him back, yeah, that's right.
They could get back both Reynaldo Lopez and Giolito, both of whom they traded. So at the end of the season, they could potentially have the guys they traded away plus the prospects they got for him, which I think is absolutely hilarious.
Oh. I know Ohtani likes playing in California, and I know they're going to try everything to sign him. You think he might just sign a 1-year deal and stay because he likes it there, or he's going to go, this is his big year, and sign like maybe a 2-year deal, and then when he's able to pitch, come back and try to get the big money then?
I think it's going to be, that's tough. I could see it being a really heavily incentivized contract where there are pay escalators for innings pitched. They could get really creative with it. It could look like a long-term deal with maybe an opt-out after, the next year, the next 2 years. So he gets a year to, if he needs Tommy John, he can get the Tommy John. He has another season to play after that, recoup some value. If he fails to recoup value, he still has, his big payday. It'll really be interesting.
That's true. It's going to be a great offseason. And I tell you what, I'm going to say this about the Cubs. Your pitching, when you got Stroman, I was like, well, he's all right. And he just exceeded all my expectations the first half of the season. Talon, I thought would be better, that Jason Talon we were talking about. But it just seems like your pitching staff, I think you got some good ones coming up. It's just sort of like you're in that in-between year where it's about, next year will even be better. And you guys have played great. Your defense is good. You guys hit. Entertaining team, play a fantastic game, but it just looks like the Brewers, their windows right now with that pitching staff, and they've been hitting and playing the field too pretty good. Now, of course, the Dodgers.
The Brewers have been there, so they know what they're doing.
Oh, yeah, and we always talk, Vince, about Craig Counsell. I think he's one of the better managers in all of baseball, and that's a huge advantage right there. And like you said, they've been there. This could be a fun year. Now there's going to be the Dodgers and the Braves are up there, but I think they could give anybody a good fight for their money. And you guys still could get the wild card. I still think you can win the division. It's just going to be tough, though.
Yeah, if we win tonight, we'll be 4 games. Let's say we split the next 2, we'd be 5 games out. The way that would be the farthest out I want to be. You can realistically expect, if you're going good, to pick up only a game a week if the other team is just playing their normal baseball and you get a little bit hotter. If you get farther out than trying to pick up a game a week, you have to bank on a collapse, and I don't see a collapse with them with their pitching. So I think that the wild card, if we win the next 2 games, we're still in the race. If we don't, the wild card, we're still right in the thick of the wild card. If the season ended today, we'd be in the wild card. But you did talk about our young pitching. This is exciting for us because we have not developed a pitcher since Jeff Samardzija,
Oh, wow.
A viable starter.
Right.
We have developed Justin Steele. we have developed Jordan Wicks. We have Ben Brown. We have the guy who got from the Giants who is pitching better since he got back.
Killian,
yeah. We have Cade Horton, who is
the best pitching prospect in baseball.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bold claim right now. I think Pipeline has him behind Andrew Painter, who's recovering from Tommy John right now. It would not surprise me at all if going into next season he's the best pitching prospect in baseball.
Oh.
Say it now, calling it.
All right.
Well, I agree with you because the name that I keep hearing attached to Cade Horton is this is the best stuff we have seen from a Cubs pitching prospect since Mark Pryor. And it's a shame that Mark Pryor had such a flash in the pan career due to injuries. But for a couple seasons, especially that 03 season, Mark Pryor was freaking scary for other teams.
Oh, yeah.
Reading that Whitey Herzog or that book about 3 days in August.
Oh, yeah.
And just how he raved about, Mark Pryor scares the Cardinals. They don't want to face him.
And then you had Wood right behind him. You had a
Wood was thunder. I mean, he threw violent stuff, and then Pryor was lightning. He threw electric stuff. It was a one, and then we had Zambrano coming after that. But when I hear that they're comparing Cade Horton to Mark Pryor, oh wow! And he doesn't have the wear and tear on his arm through a lot of pitching in college and minors.
Because he wasn't a pitcher. He didn't pitch. He was a first baseman, third baseman.
Wow.
Got Tommy John, rehabbed, came back and threw only in the College World Series. I have a stat here. He currently has a 1.0 ERA in AA, and his first professional season of pitching. That is crazy. That's better than Andrew Painter, who the Phillies were considering adding to their opening day roster as a 19-year-old. This guy is absolutely electric, and I cannot wait.
Yeah, that's going to be fun next year.
Well, we kind of went off on a tangent, after talking about Ohtani. I would like for the Cubs to make a run at Ohtani, but I really want them to make Bellinger their priority. What I'm afraid is some weird team's going to come up with some stupid money.
The Rockies?
Yeah, like the Rockies, and
Giants.
Blow everybody out of the water. But man, I hope we make a strong run at Bellinger. We've been working on clearing money because we are going to be big spenders in the free agent field this year. And Ohtani DHing, Bellinger at first, PCA in center field. And we'll just have Justin Steele pitch opening day and then have Blake Snell be the number 2 starter.
Oh, man. Yeah. Print those playoff tickets, man, right now.
Comes a time in every man's life when he needs some advice on relationships. You need to listen to the podcast DMDR, which stands for Dating, Marriage, Divorce, Remarriage, from my good friend Jeremy Connor, the Dr. Phil of the Boot Hill. You can find DMDR on Spotify or whatever platform you choose to listen to your podcast.
Right.
Hey, trivia is back. It is so back, and we are going to play the greatest trivia game we've ever played before because we have Corby Baker here, who is going to absolutely kick our butts. Isn't that right, Corby?
You know it. Yep. You know it.
Every time we have someone new on here, we have to ask them about how they became a baseball fan, so on and so forth. So tell us that and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I think probably the same as a lot of people. My dad was a big baseball fan, and growing up, I'm a lefty, and I wasn't too good at running. I wasn't too good at a lot, so I was able to be good at baseball. For one, being a lefty helped, and my dad really helped me learn how to pitch. So I had to watch pitchers that to learn how to do that, and that got me into baseball. watching guys like Mark Mulder and different like lefties to just to get into the game. That's how I originally got in, but I was kind of born into it. My dad was about as big as a Cardinal fan as anybody could have been, and so I was raised around it. I had an alarm clock that had "Get up, baby, get up, get up." I mean, it was he was committed.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I take it you're still a Cardinal fan?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Baseball is the last. I don't watch as much sports no more, but I'll always love baseball, and I always will be a Cardinal fan. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, Max, you want to go ahead and let us know what the categories are?
All right, so our categories are pretty simple. You have Cubs. It's Cubs trivia for mostly this season. Same with Cardinals. We have a new category. We have a few new categories. We have league leaders, which is just going to be your NL and AL player lead. So it'll be a bunch of statistics like, oh, this player leads the league in wins or strikeouts, blah, blah, blah. You guess the player. Name that ballpark. It's going to be a picture of a ballpark element, and you're going to have to determine which ballpark it is from. Some of them are easier than others. I'll say that right now. And then we have fun facts, which is really just a variety of fun facts I found while researching for this, because this trivia does take quite a bit of research, so I did find some fun things while I was doing that.
Like that.
That's cool.
All right. Well, Corby, you're the guest. Lead us off.
Honorable first pick. So I just do I pick the number on the screen, or do I just say it out loud? How do we do
The
that?
category and the amount of points you want.
I think I better start humbly at Cardinals for 100. How about we just start at a?
All right.
Alrighty. Who currently leads the Cardinals in stolen bases?
Tommy Edman.
That is correct.
All right.
Yeah.
Gosh,
Very
he's
good.
good.
Starting
That's
off strong.
Man, look out.
Makes sense. Well, it ain't. Yeah.
A fun fact I found while searching through this. So, of the top 4 seasons of stolen base percentage, Tommy Edman has 3 of them. The other player was also a second baseman named Tommy Herr.
Oh,
That was somewhat fascinating.
Tommy Herr.
How about that?
I love Tommy Herr was the man. That's awesome.
All right, JJ, go ahead.
All right. I'm going to take fun fact for 300.
Alrighty. Wade Boggs drank 73 beers on a cross-country flight, arrived in California, and proceeded to drink 34 more beers to finish the day at 107. The next day against Mark Langston, Boggs reached base how many times?
Ooh, all right. Man, I knew about the beers. I didn't know exactly how many, but I'm going to say he reached base the next day 3 times.
Ooh, not quite.
Not quite. All right. Vince can
Does
steal
anybody want
now.
to steal?
I think Vince can.
Go ahead.
I will say he reached twice.
That's correct. He reached twice with 2 doubles.
Wow. Hell of a stat.
Okay, I will go with the Cubs I'll start with 100.
All right. The Cubs have had 4 rookies debut this season so far. Name 2 of them.
Matt Mervis and Jordan Wicks.
All right. Can you name the other 2?
Probably, but I can't think of them offhand. So if you give me a few days, maybe, but not coming to mind right now.
It was Miguel Amaya and Daniel Palencia.
Oh yeah, I should have known Amaya.
Man, Vince is on fire.
All right, Corby.
All right. I think I'll take I think I'd like to do league leaders for 200.
Alrighty. This player currently leads the NL in hits, doubles, intentional walks, and extra base hits.
That could be. Well, there's a few guys that come to mind. Boy, that's intentional walks. No. Man, I would assume it's a Braves player. I'm gonna go with Ronald Acuna Jr.
I think he's top 3 in all
Yeah.
those stats, but he's not that player.
Yeah,
Good guess,
yeah,
though.
yeah.
Man, I don't know. This is a
Yes,
tough
sir.
one. Max,
Yeah.
this is a tough one. I'm going to say,
This is a tough one.
because of hits, I'm going to say Arise from the Marlins.
That's
Nah.
a good.
No,
He doesn't have enough power, and he doesn't get
I didn't think
intentionally
so
walked
either.
enough.
But I know hits. That's the thing that made me lead to him.
Mhm. I know he leads the league in batting average right now, but only by 8 points on this player. So that's a bit of a hint.
Oh,
I'm going to say Freddie Freeman.
That is correct.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I knew
yeah.
it was. Yeah. That's
about
great.
that?
That's a good answer.
Surprised none of you guys said Mookie Betts. That would have been my
That
my
that
guess.
was also in my head, but
Yeah.
Betts bats before Freeman, so I figure Freeman's going to get more intentional walks.
He is a Brave, ain't he? He's a Brave.
He used
Freeman?
to be.
Used to be.
He used to be. Now he's a Dodger, ain't he?
Yeah.
Mhm.
He went to the dark side. That's right. Yeah.
all right. I'm going to say Cardinals for 400.
Ooh, we've got a StatCast one.
Okay. So this is a card.
These are fun for me. I don't know if they're fun for you guys, but they're always fun for me.
Okay. So I'm gonna look at that. Wow. One, 16, chase rate not very good. Average velocity is right now. I'm going to say, because it doesn't look like he has much of a fastball or a curveball. Well, he's got a good curveball. I'm going to say Adam Wainwright.
That is correct, JJ.
All
Good
right.
job. Yeah.
I'm on the board.
I will do fun facts for 200.
All right. What do JD Martinez, Mike Fiers, and Miles Michaelis all have in common?
They are professional baseball players.
Oh.
I'm not going to give you that.
He's not wrong. I mean,
Boy,
This is tough. This is a very obscure trivia fact, but I think I've seen it on at least one broadcast.
is it that they all played in Korea?
No, I don't think JD Martinez has,
Yeah,
but that is a good guess.
oh. Hmm.
So Corby, I think it's Corby's turn, isn't it?
yeah. I think
Yep,
he's
if you want to
thinking.
try and steal.
Oh, whoopsie daisy.
Oh, you were thinking.
Yeah, I was.
thinking.
I was locked deep in a thought, trying to come up with something clever. Now, the only thing I know were two of these guys Tigers. Were these? But my oh boy. Did they all go to the same college? I wouldn't have known what college.
That's
but-
correct.
Oh,
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
They all came from the same Div 2 school. They're all drafted the same year. It's the only 3 major league players who have ever come out of the school. And they've all had pretty solid careers. I just thought that was interesting.
That's pretty cool.
Wow.
How about
Where
that?
is Nova Southeastern? I never heard of it. Where is it?
It's in Florida. It's a very small school, only about 6,000
Yeah.
people a year, so quite small.
Well, that's interesting. Heck yeah.
Yeah, pretty
Just like
cool.
I knew it.
Yep.
All right. Is it now? Corby gets to pick this time
He's
too, right?
Control the board now.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh man, you're on a roll, baby.
Hey, like butter. I want to do name that ballpark for 400.
Woo.
Alrighty. Which ballpark is this?
Well, at the trees. Oh boy, who is that? Is it Toronto's ballpark?
No, but that's a good guess. I do think they have some trees in the outfield. I could be
Yeah.
wrong though. I haven't watched any Blue Jays games this year.
All right, I gotta think about this one for a second.
Yeah, that's tough.
Also worth noting, the team in the picture, the Rangers, don't help this at all.
I
Right.
thought that was a trick.
They actually,
Yeah,
I think they actually make this a lot harder.
They're in a
Yeah.
dome. They're playing a dome.
I knew in Texas. Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know. I'm gonna guess Colorado.
That's correct.
That's great. Yeah, that was
The
my second guess. Coors Field.
Outfield at Coors Field.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
Probably, I think that's one of the prettiest parks in all of baseball.
I'd like to go. I've never been there.
Oh yeah, I've been there. I didn't get to go in, but man, it is pretty.
JJ, you've pulled ahead and you're in control.
Oh, I'm in control. All right. Let's see here. What did I pick last time? I think I picked Cardinals last time, so I got to go elsewhere. I'm going to go fun facts for 100.
All right, true or false? I don't know if you guys have seen the news on this, but there was a shooting at the White Sox game this past week,
True.
and we're allowed to talk about this because no one was seriously injured. But
Yeah.
okay, true or false? Was this caused by a woman sneaking a firearm through security by hiding it in the folds of her belly fat? True or false?
That is false. It came from like a mile away.
I'm sorry, but that it's true according to at least this report.
Oh, I had heard it came
This
from a
came
mile
out earlier
away.
today
A
at
9
about noon.
millimeter. Oh, all right. I see. I thought it didn't happen at the ballpark. It happened like a mile away, and
That was the first
That's what people
report.
were saying, but
Oh, okay.
Jeez.
All right. Well,
It's either a big body or a small gun. I don't know which one.
Hey, I could
one
get
of the two.
I could get a big gun in Busch Stadium. Let me tell you. Hey,
I could get a hunting rifle in there. Yeah, I know the feeling. Yeah.
I'll just climb the ladder and take the Cubs for 200.
Who is the only Cubs pitcher to win NL Rookie of the Year?
Harry Wood.
That is correct.
Yeah. Kerry Wood is a great pitcher.
love watching them.
Is it my turn to pick or
Corby,
JJ's?
Yep.
Back to you.
Oh, okay. Well, I better take Cardinals for 500 if I'm going to stay in this. So
Ooh, he's going. He's throwing the bomb.
Going for it. All right. The Cardinals have 101 total trades with this franchise, more than any other team by a decent margin. And I'll give a hint, the Cubs have the second most trades with this team at 68.
ooh, that's a good question.
Hmm.
I would assume we would trade out of. It's not going to be a NL Central. You wouldn't think.
You wouldn't think, but this encompasses all of baseball history.
Baseball.
I'll give that as a hint.
Ooh.
All of
Okay.
baseball history.
That does help. I think it. I would think it would have to be. Oh boy. The Red Sox?
No, sorry.
No, yeah.
You guys may not get this. This is pretty tough.
Well,
Yeah.
there's a lot of history there and a lot of trades. I'm like running through my head, and I know throughout time the Cardinals have made a lot of trades with the New York Yankees. So I'm going to say the Yankees.
Yeah, that's
Nope.
No.
Okay.
Wow.
My inkling was to say the Seattle Pilots,
That's
but
I guess, yeah.
let's say the Pittsburgh Pirates.
That's closer.
Oh.
It's actually the
Wow.
Cincinnati Reds.
The Reds.
No
No.
way! I would have never
Oh.
guessed that.
I wouldn't have
Oh.
guessed it either. You got to think about it. The Reds are one of the older franchises, and for a while,
Yeah,
people
the
would
Cardinals.
trade in division because it was
Yeah,
hard to get around. Back in
Right.
the 1930s, you couldn't get on a plane or anything.
It's true.
were the Reds in the East before? Like whenever the Cardinals were in, when they were playing, they weren't always in the Central, right? There was a time where they were in the NL East. Were
Yeah,
the Reds in the NL East?
No, they're actually in the West.
Yeah, they were in the West, and we
Wow.
us and the
Okay.
Cubs were in the East.
The
So
the Reds and the
That's
and
interesting.
the Braves were in the East. It didn't make or in the West. It didn't make sense.
yeah, that's confusing. Yeah, that's wild.
All right, I'm going to do name that ballpark for 200.
All right.
I'm going to say that is Boston Fenway Park,
That is correct.
and that's
That is
the Ted Williams chair.
Yep,
Yep.
that's the Ted
Yep.
Williams seat.
All right, love Ted Williams.
Good stuff.
That's a
was an
good. That's
easy
a good
one for
answer.
you. All right,
Yeah,
I
that was an
will-
easy one.
I will do league leaders for 300.
All right. This pitcher leads the NL in ERA, walks, and wild pitches.
Blake Snell.
That is correct. And if he wins the NL Cy Young, I will be annoyed, to say the least.
He's a lefty, ain't he? He's a lefty.
Yeah,
Right?
he's a lefty.
You never know what you're gonna get sometimes with them. They're a wild bunch.
I don't think Sanchez has helped him much on the pass.
Oh, yeah,
pass balls
on the
and stuff.
defensive side, yeah.
Yeah.
If it's my pick, I think I'll go with fun facts for 400.
All right. One of these
Yeah.
baseball players do not exist. Which one is it? Is it Rocky Stone, Tungsten Arm O'Doyle, Mimo Luna, or Blue Moon Odom?
Well, baseball notoriously has some of the greatest names to ever grace sports. I mean, I can think of my favorite net. Well, my favorite name was always the Kim Kiminetti. That's just such a baseball name to me. I don't know why. Or Dante Bichette. I don't know why I always feel like it's such a baseball name. But I would say Mimo Rocky's probably Tungsten Arm O'Doyle.
Yep, that is a fake baseball
Yeah.
name.
Very good.
One would
Good
name
stuff.
the kid Tungsten. I would like to believe that they wouldn't do that to a fella. Like,
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to pick. Oh, by the way, one of my favorite baseball names is Biff Pokeroba. Remember him for the Braves?
Oh, Biff
oh
Pokeroba.
wow, that's a good one.
That is a
Yeah,
good one.
Biff
I also-
Pokeroba.
Vinny Castillo. Yeah.
I also like Bill Naharadne.
Ooh, I like that. That's like
Woo,
a
that's a good
rock
one.
and roll
Yeah.
name. All right.
Yeah.
I guess I'm going to go. I'm going to go Cubs 300.
All right. Ooh,
Mm.
5 players have won NL Cy Young Awards for the Cubs. Name 4 of them.
Okay, I'm going to say Maddox and Sutcliffe.
Yep, that's 2.
I'm going to say Maddox and Sutcliffe. Fergie Jenkins.
That's 3. One more.
Oh, Lord. I'm going to think about this for a second. And Bruce Sutter.
Yep. You missed the most recent
Man.
one.
You missed Arietta.
Yeah.
Oh,
But good stuff, JJ.
Oh,
Wow,
thank
he's
you.
from Farmington. He's from the town that I'm from, Jake Arrieta.
Oh,
basically.
really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was born in Farmington.
All right, I got to go with the Cubs for 400.
All right. It's another StatCast one.
Is that going to be Jamison Tayo?
His fastball's a bit. Do you know who it is now?
Huh?
Let's see if do you know who it is? Was that no like a I know who it is, or was it just a no?
I have two in mind, so I
Oh yeah.
Gotcha. Well, let's see if anyone can steal. Corby, you're up.
Oh boy. You know, I gotta be honest. I couldn't even begin to name a set of Cubs pitchers this year. I haven't watched, so I feel.
Fair.
Oh man, you busted me. I don't know. I mean, I don't even have a name. I'm sorry.
I'm
That's
going to
okay.
go because of the fastball velocity. Maybe Smiley.
No, not quite.
it's Hendricks, isn't it?
It's Hendricks. Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
was that the
I
other guy
would
you were
be
thinking of, Vince? Was that the
Yeah,
other
that was
guy?
my other one,
Oh.
but I have Tyone on the brain right now.
Oh.
I do too.
So
I try to ignore as much Cubs now. I just kidding. I just don't look this year. I mean,
Well, Corby, I believe you're up again.
okay. Well, I got some work. I got some catching up to do. I better go with fun facts for 500.
All right. Max Scherzer holds the most All-Star selections of any Mizzou alumni with 8. This retired second baseman has the second most with 4 selections.
Mizzou second baseman. Ian Kinsler?
That is correct.
Yes. I don't know where I pulled that out.
I couldn't think of his last name. I was going Ian. By the way,
Yeah.
with that score, Corby becomes our all-time highest scoring
Yes.
contestant besides us. Very good, Corby. Look out, man.
Don't call it a comeback. Right.
don't lose in Final Jeopardy. Don't lose.
All right. I'm going to go. I forgot what I picked last time. I think ballparks, maybe. I think I did Cubs. So I'm going to go league leaders for 100.
All right. This one's pretty easy.
Uh-oh.
Who currently leads the AL in on-base percentage, slugging percentage, runs scored, total bases, triples, home runs, walks, extra base hits, and intentional walks?
I will say Ohtani.
That is correct.
All right.
That one's a gimme.
Yeah.
The home runs gave it away for me. Yeah.
Boy, he is so
Yeah.
entertaining, though. You got to give that guy
That
credit. He is
injury, I'm so
entertaining.
sad he got that injury. Oh, my gosh. That was devastating.
Man,
I'll do
that workload is
I'll do Cubs for 500. I'll get rid of this category.
Nico Horner is on pace for the first 40 stolen base season by a Cub since this player in 2006.
2006. Yes, I am going through the roster of 2006. I don't know if he ever had this many stolen bases. Ryan Terrio?
No, unfortunately. This might be the hardest question on here.
Oh, really? Okay. I thought I had a. If I was able to look at, can I look at a thing of the Cubs? I wondered if I could.
Talking about.
Right, can't
Nope.
do that.
You
Can't
can't
do
look
that.
at the roster. You gotta just kind of come up with it.
Fair enough. I did. I mean, if Alfonso Soria. Oh, is it my turn? Jesus, I'm just
it's
taking.
your turn.
Okay, whew, good. Alfonso Soriano, if he was on the team, would be
That's a
my
good
answer.
guess because he had that 40-40 season, right, for
Yeah.
Nationals,
Washington,
I
yeah.
think. Yeah. But no, that isn't correct.
No, yeah.
That's a good guess,
I
though.
get you.
I get my years mixed up with Cubs. I can't. I can't remember who was on with the team what years. And I can't remember 06. I really can't remember anything that stood out to me about 06. So I'm going to say the only guy I can think of is Addison Russell. That's the only guy I can think of even.
That's a bit before his era, but also incorrect.
Okay.
It was Juan Pierre.
Oh yeah.
He used to play for Miami. Yeah, he used to play for Miami.
I didn't know he even played for the Cubs.
Yeah.
I think for like 1 or 2 years.
2 years, yeah.
Okay.
Wow, that's a fun one. That's a good one. It's just a name I ain't thought of in a while. He was a good contact hitter too at one time. Pretty good. Was he a lefty? I believe he was.
Ooh, I don't know.
Pierre?
Remember?
I believe he was.
Well, Corby, I believe it's your turn.
Let's see. You know what? I'll do name that ballpark for 300. The Tub. That is where's the pool? Is it San Diego?
No, unfortunately.
Dang.
All right. I think I got about a 30% chance on this one, but that picture is kind of controversial because when the Dodgers won the pennant, they ran out there and celebrated in the swimming pool.
That's from an article that was talking about this.
Yeah, and so I'm just going to go with my instinct. I believe that's Arizona.
Yep, that's Chase Field. Also, I'm just now realizing that you can actually see their logo.
Oh, I didn't. I swear I didn't see that. I didn't.
That's fine. Right. I forgot it.
You got to fact. Should have been looking harder. Right in front of my face.
I ain't getting in that pool in front of all them people.
That's a good guess, JJ. I wouldn't. I never even thought about Arizona's ballpark.
I've always wanted to go. All right, now it's my turn. I'm going to go. How many with our pictures? I can't see how many fun facts ones are there left over there.
There aren't any fun facts left.
Oh, fun facts are over. Okay. Well, I'm going to go Cardinals for 200.
Ooh. This former Cardinal holds the record for most RBI in a single postseason run.
So you're saying a single season, that postseason?
That postseason, yes.
Oh, Lord. That's a great one. Well, nowadays they play more playoffs and stuff. There's a guy who had a great playoff or a postseason run, but he didn't play as many as they play today. So I am going to say, I'm going to go with the obvious. I'm going to say Albert Pujols.
Oh, no, that's not correct.
All right. Oh,
well. David Freese?
That is correct.
Yes. Great answer. Yeah.
The Cubby stuck it to me.
The ultimate Cardinal for the postseason. He is that
1 year.
That one, yeah. You're right.
I will name that ballpark for 500.
Woo-hoo.
All right.
Oh my Lord.
What is it you get?
What? That's the Roman Coliseum. Isn't that my
That is correct. That is the Coliseum.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, yeah, that's awesome.
I know so much about cats, it's ridiculously stupid. So.
How about that? What made you say Coliseum, Vince? What made you guess that?
That's amazing.
Because the Roman Coliseum in Rome really does have a bunch of cats in it. Really? So I figured the cat's in there, nothing else. It's got to be the Coliseum.
Oh, that was excellent.
Where do you obtain? That's the funnest fact I've ever heard. That's awesome.
Yep.
So is it me?
Cat problem.
Yeah, it's your turn, Corby.
Yeah. I better go Cardinals for 300. Wait, yeah, I better do that. Yeah.
All right. 39 players have worn number 16 for the Cardinals as their uniform number, the most recent being Nolan Gorman. Name one other player who has worn 16 for the Redbirds. Actually, I'm going to triple check my answers.
That's a I have a few, but I'm not sure which one. I'm gonna guess and say Mark Grudzielanig.
Give me a second. Let me find
No
the
worries.
directory.
Another second. That's a good question. I never really baseball numbers other than certain guys, I guess, but
It's tough because it's not retired. He's not on there.
no, okay.
Well, shoot. I'm just going to have to take a wild guess. Oh, man. I'm
I
going
mean,
to.
there's some good guys on this list. I mean, some.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to say Reggie Sanders.
That's a good
That's
guess.
correct. 2004 through 2006.
Hey,
That's a
That's exactly who I was going to say.
I'll see your Coliseum and raise your.
I
The
was
most
gonna
recent
say.
one is Colton Wong. That's the most recent one.
Oh wow! Another second baseman. I just picked the wrong second baseman. That's all. Grudzielanig, Colton Wong. Wow. Okay.
Man. Oh, my turn, huh?
Yep.
All right. I'm gonna go. I don't know, man. Vince is right behind me. If I mess up, he'll jump on the answer. So I'm gonna go name that ballpark 100. What the heck?
This happened a couple years back. And
right.
I feel like it's somewhat obvious.
Well, I'm gonna say it's. I'm not sure. Oh, the kid got his head stuck in there, I guess.
Yeah, it took me a minute.
Well, I'm gonna. That looks like a Tampa Bay helmet right there. The Devil Rays.
That is correct. That's Tropicana Field.
Wade Boggs.
Looks like
The kid got his head stuck in a statue of Wade Boggs. They had
Looks
to.
like he's sleeper hold. Yeah.
Oh man, I did not know that story.
That's funny.
And that actually is Wade Boggs. He's just had 300 beers.
You just didn't want to.
Yeah. He just we'll step from that before. Yeah.
I'll go league leaders for 400.
This player leads the NL in win-loss percentage, home runs per 9, and adjusted ERA plus.
That would be Justin Steele.
And that would be correct. Good one.
Okay. He's a Cub, ain't he? I'm just curious. He a Cub?
Yep.
Yes.
He's having a great season.
All right. If it's my turn, I guess league leaders for 500. Let's see if I can, lessen this lead here.
This is a fun one. This player leads the AL in complete games, home runs given up, losses, and earned runs.
In America, okay. It's got to be an older. No, probably. That is a fun one because there could be a lot of guys that could achieve that, but I would think it'd be guys on their way out. For the American League. Is it Barrios, the Toronto pitcher? Is he still for Toronto?
Yeah, he's still pitching for Toronto, but he's not having a season quite like this.
Nah, yeah, actually, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you're saying this season, American League.
This season,
games,
yes.
In complete games, home runs given up, losses, and earned runs.
Yep.
I'm going to say, because this guy's got to be good to be pitching complete games. And Vince,
at least efficient.
Before I answer this, does Vince know the answer, or is he?
Yes, I do.
I think he does because we may have talked about this at some
I see
point.
that smile on his face. All right, I'm listening to the ghost of Terry Funk, who's sending me this answer. I'm going to say the hardcore man himself, Dylan Cease.
No, unfortunately.
You are so close.
Oh, I'm okay.
Lance Lynn.
Nope, it's not him.
You're kidding me.
I'll give you that. He's in the AL Central. AL Central pitcher.
Lance Lynn's a great
Who was
answer.
it? That
I wouldn't
Well,
was-
here, I'll see if you can guess this. He pitched one of these complete games against the Cubs, but it was a complete game loss.
Oh,
It
wow.
was Jordan Lyles. He went 8 innings, gave up like 4 earned runs, and picked up the loss.
Oh
I
man.
Yeah, that's a
Man.
tough one.
Man.
Did he used to pitch for the Nationals, or does he still? No, he don't.
He's
Still, if
with the
he's in the
Royals
AL.
still. Yeah, he's still.
Yeah,
he's
he
with
was on
Royals now.
the Orioles last year.
Oh, okay.
I was sure it was Lance Lynn, but
That's a really good guess because
That-
I don't think he's had a
Great answer
complete game
because
though.
yeah,
All right.
he's got the stuff to do it.
Okay, here's a final question here.
Final Jeopardy. Corby,
Final
you
Alright.
got
Jeopardy.
So
a piece of paper and put
yeah,
your
you're gonna need a piece of paper for this and a pencil.
your wager down.
So
All right.
So I'll explain the rules before you guys make your wagers. So
Can
this is a little bit different than a Final Jeopardy. Instead, I don't know if you guys have ever done these, but they're immaculate grids. You guys are gonna fill out one of these immaculate grids on paper with your wager, and then we'll go through and I'll fill these out. So basically how these work is in this quadrant, you've got LA and the Marlins. So you would find a player that's played for both of those teams, and you would put that in that square. Assuming you get all of these correct, all 9 of them, you'll be assigned a score based on the rarity of other players. So for instance, if you had Cubs Cardinals, Wilson Contreras wouldn't be worth as much as like Jose Martinez.
Right.
So if you can think of an obscure player for one of these, it's going to be worth a few more points. But I would just try and fill out this grid.
Okay,
So-
so we put in the point. How much we're betting first, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So
Let's see how many points I got. Okay.
All right. Pull up the grid again, please.
All right. I got my number down.
gotcha. So I'll give you guys a couple minutes to solve this, but just players who have played for these teams, or in the case of LA, players who have had 3,000 hits in their career who have played for LA at some point. It doesn't have to be 3,000 hits the entire
With
time while they
them.
played for this franchise. It could be a guy who played there on a 1-year deal, stuff like that. You're just going to try and fill out this grid.
Okay.
Okay. Give us about 3 hours.
Yeah.
Here, I'll set a timer for 2.5 minutes.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Yeah, I know, this is going to be tough. I'll say 3 minutes. Right, so we're just about halfway through. How are you guys feeling so far?
Bad. I'm feeling terrible.
Yeah.
Well, just try and see how many you can get.
Okay.
All right, about 30 more seconds. Are any of you guys at least halfway done?
I am
Yeah.
done.
You're done? Okay, well, 20
I don't
more
know.
seconds.
I don't know if you can read my writing.
It's fine. You can just read them out, and I'll plug them in.
Okay.
10 seconds. And pencils up.
All right.
All right. Start with you, Vince.
Now you'd start with the least amount.
Oh, least amount. Okay. Which would be Corby.
Me,
All right.
I think. You know, I don't. I was kind of surprised at because the 3,000 hits was the thing that I thought I was, but I couldn't name you but one player from all these teams. So I don't even have I don't have I don't have any answer for this. So I would have thought maybe I would have known trades, but I just couldn't. No one came to mind. I didn't have nothing. So
This is a tough collection of franchises. I can't think of too many deals between these
yeah,
teams, which
I
makes it a little
wish I
harder.
did. I should know this, but I just don't even have no answers.
All right. So next would be JJ.
All right. Where would you like to start at?
We'll just stop in the top left. Start
All
in the
right.
top left.
I went pitcher, knuckleballer Charlie Huff. He started the first game for the Marlins, and he played a long time for the Dodgers.
Wow, good one.
Wow,
So that
cool.
1% you see, that means that of all the people who've played this, about 50,000 people, only 1% use Charlie Huff as their guest there.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's a good guess.
Oh, that's a good
Wow.
guess.
It's a really good guess.
All right. Now I just took guesses on some of these. The next one for
That's fine.
the Dodgers and the Rangers, I had a hard time. I put Bert Hooton. I didn't know if Hooton played for him. I think I missed that one.
What's his last name?
Hooten, Hooten.
Bert Hooten. Wow.
Yeah.
0.2%. Dang.
All right. And 3,000 hits. I'm trying to think of the Dodgers, and it must have been a guy who just kind of slipped through, but I put Duke Schneider. I didn't know if Duke got 3,000 hits. I don't think he got 3,000 hits, but
no, but he is a great hitter.
You didn't, unfortunately, but still, you've got 2 so far.
We got 2. Okay. Then starting down here with the Angels and Marlins, I didn't know anybody that cross-pollinated in those 2 teams. So I put a pitcher, Al Downing, who gave up Hank Aaron's 715th home run. I just took a shot. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Al Downing was dead by the time the Marlins came around.
I panicked. All right.
Ship a little bit, yeah.
This one was an easy one for me. That's Nolan Ryan, the Texas Angel.
Yeah.
Good one.
Yeah. I should have. Oh, man. That's right. Yeah.
Now, the 3,000 hit one was Rod Carew.
Second baseman. Yeah. Probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then down here, I think this is what happened. Down at that left, Boston and Marlins, I think Boggs finished his last season with the Marlins, I think. So I put Wade Boggs.
It was with the Devil Rays.
Oh, was the Devil Rays?
Yeah, the other Florida team. Yeah,
crap.
But good guess.
I did not have an answer for Boston and Texas. I brain farted. I couldn't think of nothing. But my favorite player of all time, 3,000 hits, I put Ted Williams.
Ted Williams didn't get to 3,000 hits.
He did not. Oh, hit 400.
He hit 400, but he did not he missed too much time, and he walked way too much.
He hit 400.
Can't give a guy a break. I mean, yeah.
Still, that's pretty good.
Didn't he write the Art of Hitting? I mean.
Oh, can I tell you how much I bet, or do I tell that later?
You can go ahead and show it now.
All right, I showed. I put 1,300.
1,300. Okay.
Yeah, I put that up there.
Corby, what'd you bet?
I did. You know what? I didn't understand the question right, so I wasn't too. Which was my fault because once I seen how he answered it, what was made perfect sense. I just didn't. I didn't understand that. So I didn't even have an. I mean, what I really truly didn't get it, so I didn't even have a number. I mean,
Oh, that's fine.
that's my bad. I should have. I just didn't get the framing of the question until after I seen it answered. So I mean, whatever I had, I would have gambled all that because I was so far behind. That makes sense.
Are you
All right,
ready?
Yeah.
I'm ready. Let's hear it.
I have Mike Piazza.
That's a good one. I think that's pretty popular.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
15%.
Very good.
I have
Oh, yeah.
Charlie Huff for the Rangers, and
All right.
Oh,
and
big one.
3,000 hit Eddie Murray.
Ooh. Switch hitter, Eddie Murray.
Oh, Vince is already kicking butt.
And this one I wasn't sure. Brian Harvey for the Angels and the Marlins.
I think he did.
Excuse me, Matt Hart. I said
Harvey?
Brian Harvey. I said Brian Harvey, but I think it was I wrote down Brian Harvey, but I'm thinking that was wrong.
No, that was correct.
Okay.
All right, that's fine. All right.
Yeah, I really did write Brian Harvey down. So
Yeah.
for the Rangers and Angels, I got Josh Hamilton. And I can't believe I didn't think of Nolan Ryan.
I know you pay. I know how it is.
I also had Rod Carew for the 3,000 for the Angels.
I love Rod Carew.
For the Marlins and Red Sox, I had Mike Lowe.
Wow.
Very
Yeah.
good.
For the Rangers and Red Sox, I had Fergie Jenkins.
Oh man,
Gosh, I forgot he pitched for the Red Sox. And then for your last one, the Boston 3,000 hits.
That's JJ's deal.
I know. You only get 9 guesses, and we used 1. So
I Wade Boggs.
Wade
the
Boggs.
3,000.
There you go.
That's great. Yeah.
So you got it completely correct.
Yeah,
Wow.
I would have never. That's great.
Very good, Vince. Very good.
Good stuff.
Yeah, that was good. That was a competitive contest.
That wasn't. Yeah. What'd you wager on that?
I bet it all.
Woo! He's a high roller.
That's what I was. I mean, that's what I was gonna do too. But I would. That's a really fun question. As far as make me go through some players that I hadn't thought of in a long time. I would have guessed maybe Jason Bay would have been on one of those but he only played for Boston that I know of. But as I got to thinking about it, there were some players that came to mind. So hopefully, if I ever get another chance, I'll see if I can get that better.
Well, Corby,
dang,
you are
I wish
top scorer for.
You are the top scoring guest.
I started hot, boy. I started hot. That was fun, though. That was fun.
Great questions, Max.
Well,
Thank
Corby,
you.
we will have you on again, and thank you for joining us.
Hey, we're 1 for 2 on attempts. That ain't bad. That's a good day to play. I mean, that's 500.
Very good. All right. I'm going to open the second half of these Kmart Topps Special Edition cards from 1987. You got anything different, or are you still opening the Rob Riggle package?
No, I have some more of those, but no, I got to change up here. I have Heritage Baseball 2023 Topps. I like them because they look like the 1974s. And I brought a couple cards out of my collection. 1975. I just wanted to show a couple of cards. And the first one is my son, Brody, did not know that Johnny B. Baker, Dusty Baker, was an actual player. And there's the 1975 Atlanta Braves, Dusty Baker right there.
Had power. Good player.
He's a pretty good player.
Dodgers. I remember him being the world champion Dodgers. And I believe this is a 68. But you guys might know who this is. Right there. Ernie Banks right there. How
Mr.
about
Cub.
that? Mr. Cub with the the Cub on the sleeve right there. That's pretty darn cool. So I just brought a couple old cards out of the collection to show off right there. And
Well, why don't we play the game where Max tells us whether or not he's heard of these players?
that's a great game. Vince, you want to go first?
Sure.
You go
Max,
first.
you ever heard of Mickey Mantle?
I have actually, believe it or
Hall
not.
of Famer. Here's a former Cub, Lou Brock. Hall of Famer. All right. Did not make the Hall of Fame. Hall of Very Good, Dale Murphy.
Yep.
Two-time
love Dale
MVP
Murphy.
for the Braves. Robert Gibson.
Yes.
Famer.
Got some good players in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole thing about these cards. They're supposed to be Brooks Robinson. I guess
Yep.
I should look that way.
Yeah. 16-time Gold Glover.
Well, this guy could go deep. Hank Aaron,
Hey, hammering.
the all-time home run leader for people who do not choose. This guy did not make it to the Hall of Fame, but he's been recently put in the Mets Hall of Fame. Darryl Strawberry.
Strawberry.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
he lives in St. Louis now, doesn't he?
That's what I heard.
Yeah. The greatest player ever, Willie Mays.
Say hey,
The greatest catcher ever, Johnny Bench.
Johnny Bench.
The greatest promoter of himself ever, Reggie Jackson.
Mr. October.
Oh, not a Hall of Famer, but a very great player, Don Mattingly.
Oh, yeah. Donnie
Great
Baseball.
sideburns.
Very good.
Now, we've talked about him a lot today. Wade Boggs, Hall of Famer.
Yep.
Who
Yes,
had
we
a
did.
tremendous sleeper hold. The late, great Roberto Clemente. Hall of
Oh,
Famer.
yes.
Oh, just passed away, I think this year. One of my favorites growing up, George Thomas Seaver. Oh, and the man with the highest leg kick in baseball, Juan Marichal, Hall of Famer.
Oh, yeah.
And a man so popular in Minneapolis that they have a highway named after him called Killebrew Way, Harmon Killebrew, Hall of Famer.
Very good. All right. I've got a lot of cards here. This is a big pack, these heritage cards. And again, they look like the 74 ones. I'm going to move a little closer to the screen here so I can show this out. They have even the positions that they're in is like from the old days. This is Toronto Blue Jay Raul. Right
yeah.
there.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Now, again, I'm from Arkansas, and my accent and how I say last names, it gets really it's embarrassing, to be honest with you. This is Philadelphia Philly Nick Castellanos. I've heard you guys talk about how
Cubs
much...
legend.
Yeah, there you go. I like that picture, the bright red of the Phillies uniforms right there. You know, we always talk about players on here, and they always come up in the cards section. Jordan Lyles of the Royals.
There he is.
There he is.
Yeah, the ball in mid-flight right there. Let's see who else we got here. This guy's had a really good year this year. First baseman of the Texas Rangers, Nathan Lowell.
Yeah.
Right there. I believe he was an all-star this year.
Yes, he was.
Yeah. All right. Let's see who else we got here. San Francisco Giant, Wilmer Flores.
Good player.
There
He's
he
having a
is
good
right
season.
there. Yes, he is. I tell you what, I don't know how the Giants are staying in the race. They don't have the big names like some of them other teams, but they're always right there. I'm telling you here. Kansas City Royal first baseman, third baseman, Hunter Dozier. He's had a long career.
I don't think he's on the team anymore.
He's not there anymore?
Yeah, I think he got released.
Got released from the Royals. Now that's a kick. Oh, man. Let's see who else. Oh, this kid here. I picked him to be the American League Rookie of the Year. He will not be, but he's had a good year on a good team. Gunnar Henderson from the Orioles.
He's got to be top 3, though, I would say.
Yeah, he's had a
having a really good season.
Yeah. You know, there's so much expectation on some of these kids that they just have a good year. They get a little some people get disappointed. This kid was going to be the next big Dodger, James Outman.
Yeah. He had a good series against the Cubs earlier this year.
Oh, did he?
He had a couple home runs.
I think as the season's going, he's just finding his feet and getting better and better. Let's see who else we got here. Oh, Cardinal. We got a Cardinal in the batch, and this kid looks like he could be a nice player coming up through the years. Alec Burleson. Right there, maybe. Oh, this kid with the White Sox. I know the White Sox have had a down year too, but this kid is really good. Lewis Robert. Right
He's
there.
had a good year. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell you what, I like them White Sox uniforms, those particular ones right there. Another White Sox. I don't know if he's still with them or not. Liam Hendricks.
Yeah. He came back from the lymphoma. And
Yeah, we mentioned him. And then they had a special card here. A Hank. No, that can't be. Oh, it's Aaron Judge. It's Aaron Judge through the last couple of years, kind of a special highlight in his career with a lot of statistics on the back.
Yeah.
There. So that's the last one in that set. I kind of like those heritage cards.
Well, gentlemen, I have good news. Through 4 or 3.5 innings, the Cubs are winning 1-0 against the Brewers.
With one hit.
Yeah, we've got one hit. The Brewers have 5, but Justin Steele has shown up to pitch his first big game in baseball, which is making me happy. So we may not win this game, but he obviously doesn't have his best stuff. 5 hits in 4 innings, but man, he's gotten it out. He's gritty. He's gritty. He's gritty. He's like sandpaper. So.
Hey, you can win with you if you got a team of those guys. You can win.
Yeah,
he's that kind of a guy.
Yeah. So, well, gentlemen, thank you. Welcome back, Max.
Yes,
Max.
Always have fun.
Hopefully we can over these next, because after the Brewers we have to go to Cincinnati, and where are we going after Cincinnati?
Giants. It's another wild card team. Maybe Arizona.
Yeah, I think we go to Cincinnati, Arizona, and then San Francisco comes in or something like that. So, but anyway, thank you, Corby, for joining us for the first time. You did very well. And we will have you back on again.
All right.
All righty.